Hey guys, Shiloh Colt here. Excited to talk about A Court of Wings and Ruin, which I finished a couple days ago and have been marinating on. So I will recap really quickly. First book, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I liked it, but there were things that kept me from loving it. So it was a good book, but it was a pretty good read for me. Second book had everything that I felt I was lacking. So basically I was terrified going into A Court of Wings and Ruin. I was torn with the back and forth because so many people had really strong opinions about this book, and I didn't want theirs to taint my experience. So I really tried to distance myself and just go in this with an open mind and read and see what came out. I loved this book. There were so many wonderful things about this book that I felt really outweighed the bad. The things I didn't like, there were personality changes that made no sense. If you're going to have a character be one way and she's going to change drastically, you have to show me why. You can't just decide that it would be a really good plot device if all of a sudden she just changes in the middle of stream for no reason at all. I was really irritated because I felt like the character was getting things she didn't deserve. Also, like, seriously, abusive and toxic relationships. And I'm not even talking about romantic. I'm talking about family. Family should not put you down. They should not make you feel like crap. They should not be just an asshole to you, especially for no reason at all. It's not okay to just say, well, that's just how they are and they're my family, but I'm going to just keep staying around them. Get the hell away from people like that. They will drag you down. They will ruin your life. I did not like the message that brought across. It really pissed me off. To me, family is really everything, and that includes your friends that become your family. So to see this happening with blood relatives and no one addressing it and everyone just being okay with it, I was really irritated because I really wanted there to be some sort of comeuppance or at least some sort of compromise, some sort of reason, explanation why this particular character was this way. We didn't get it. I was not pleased with it. There were also some characters who I felt were just there. They never really had growth. I felt like they were paired with somebody because it gave everything a nice, neat bow. Everybody gets someone. The pairing didn't make any sense. Pissed me off because I felt like this particular character, who I loved, deserved so much more. He'd already been jilted. He'd already gotten the short end of the stick for freaking literally centuries, and then you just shove him with someone that made no sense. I was not a fan. There were things that I felt could have been done differently that I really wasn't pleased with. And then last but not least, I don't know why, I just felt like I was waiting for more. There was so much build up in the last two books. I did feel like I wanted a little more of something. Maybe it was that whole changing personalities of characters that threw me off. So then I was waiting for sort of this finalization that now could not happen. I don't know. All that aside, it was still a freaking amazing read. Sarah J. Maas can write her butt off. I'm not saying this book is without its flaws at all, but I'm saying that she took me on one hell of a ride and I loved it. Seeing Fairy grow up, come into her own, and then freaking learn how to play the game was incredible because of course she's going now into a political court. And it's with fairies. And I mean, there's some cruel, bad mofos because they have had eons to just become completely apathetic. I felt like we really got to see the difference, and sometimes not difference, in fae and humans and how both could be monsters at times. I really enjoyed that. All the backstory was amazing. I liked the progression of Rysand and Fairy, and I felt like you saw the distinct differences in the relationships between Tamlin and her and Rysandra. I felt like one was a more healthy, supportive relationship where she was not an item to be possessed. She was a human. Well, I shouldn't say human, but she was a being, her own being. And while he did want to protect her, he understood that she was ruling beside him and that she was strong, and he trusted her in ways that Tamlin never did. And Tamlin's behavior toward her, like, yeah, not okay with that. It definitely was like everything wrong with the relationship. Just watch these two. And I never understood quite why he was that way. I don't know that that was ever explained, and that was something that I wanted to see, but I guess sometimes there really aren't any answers, so that was more true to life. Look at this, guys. Like, I have so many notes that I was taking, because not only was I taken by like the twists and turns, the new characters that came up, but literally her writing. I actually have a couple quotes that I'm going to read. I added the insult to the long, long list of things to repay them for. Swift revenge helped no one and nothing but my own rolling rage. I mean, she just was dropping these magnificent, sparkling gems among paragraphs, and I really fell in love with her writing. I think more in this book than any of the other series. There were so many things she did right with this, and I loved how we got to learn more about characters we'd seen previously. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but just so many good things about this. So in the end, I enjoyed the book. It's not the best representation for diverse cast. If you are looking for a diverse cast, you're not going to find it here. I didn't go into this expecting it or looking for that. I had never heard that she was someone who would give you a really diverse cast that you would fall in love with. So maybe that's why I wasn't as upset with it. I didn't really necessarily feel slighted by anything that happened in this book. I don't know, maybe it was just me. I just thought, you know, there were characters I liked and characters I didn't. There was development I thought was BS, and then there was legitimate development that felt real. There were things I felt that she did simply as a plot device and I wasn't feeling it. And then other things that I felt like, yeah, that makes sense. I enjoyed the read. This was such a controversial book for some. So I'm curious to know how you felt about the book. Did you enjoy it? Did you feel slighted? Do you feel like she handled things poorly? Were you offended by some of the things that happened to this? I would really like to know. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you later. Bye, guys.